Thank you so much for wanting to learn more about the emotional properties of our pure essential oils, and they are effective. I'm Roxanne Wheeler, your proactive lady, and I really, really want to help you get the most from your oils every time you pick them up. And so, what I'll be doing is answering all questions off screen, no matter how personal. And the next Lunch and Learn, the Lunch and Learn live version will be August 5th at 12 noon Eastern Time. So I hope you'll save that date. Okay, I'm trying to get rid of this AI thing. Okay. Now, how is it that we can be so powerfully affected by smells? Our, our olfactory system is very primitive and has served us well for thousands of years. It serves to interpret smells that indicate danger, like predators, and other dangers, like fire, foul-smelling bacteria, harmful organisms, and toxins. It also helps our reproductive needs to draw us closer to our potential mate for reproduction, especially to an alpha male. By attracting a mate, we can ensure our family tree can continue for many years ahead. Smell also helps us to choose healthy foods to keep us well and safe. Smell helps us identify nutritious foods, determine if food is ripe or spoiled, and avoid food poisoning. It also helps us extract nutritional information from food cues, which can influence our appetite and food choices. Smell plays a role in social behavior, such as identifying our relatives, family relations, group cohesion, and social learning. It can also help us transfer and regulate emotions, which can impact our social relationships of various stages of life. Have you ever been more sensitive to certain smells because you were stressed? I see that quite often. What are your favorite smells? For me, I really, really, really love adaptive. Adaptive for me is so calming, de-stressing, and could it be that I know that it reduces my stress when I'm drawn to it? Perhaps. I use it almost every single time I get into my car for any distance at all. Also, I am very drawn to frankincense stick, at night especially. Frankincense stick is something that I use very effectively for relieving my achiness, and it really helps me settle in for a good night's sleep. How do I use it? I rub it right across my nostrils like that, and then I rub it across my back. And if I'm aching in the night when I get up to use the bathroom, I may apply it to the knees, the low back, whatever is screaming at me at that point. What is your go-to for sleep aroma? Now, this month, our doTERRA promotions include Deep Blue Oil. It's a 5 milliliter bottle, so it contains 83 drops. Deep Blue Oil is a blend of very effective oils of blue tansy, helichrysum, peppermint, wintergreen, and ylang ylang, which soothe aches, reduce swelling, and cool and warm the tissues affected. It helps warm muscles before exercise, yard work, or any other strenuous activity. That allows our muscles to stretch better and thus get better results in our physical work we are doing. Following our work, reapplying will minimize our recovery that working those muscles demands, minimizing the inflammatory response so it is not too much, but enough to carry more blood to the area and carry away the lactic acid and other waste products from those working muscles. The ache we feel is the buildup of the waste in our tissues that is very irritating. That is why a good tub soak or foot bath with deep blue oil is so relieving and soothing. I always feel much better after my Epsom salt soak with deep blue and Aroma Touch blend oils. The Aroma Touch, this is a large bottle oil, so it's got 250 or more drops in it. The Aroma Touch is very relaxing and it's very renewing to our muscle tissues and helps with enhancing circulation too. It is also good for lymphatic congestion. Now, Copaiba in the deep blue stick, which by the way is 10% off this month, the deep blue stick with Copaiba. Copaiba, that part of it is very, very soothing, and it eases swelling and all that comes from it. It does help anything that it is applied topically to work better. So combining Copaiba with any other oil is always going to be to your advantage. And so its inclusion in the stick is very purposeful. It also is a tremendous support for the nervous system, easing discomforts anywhere that nerves have been irritated. And it helps with sleep. And we know that is when we really heal and recover from those challenges that often make us hurt. Now, emotionally, I bet you wondered if I was ever going to get to the emotional piece, right? Emotionally, Deep Blue is very good for anyone who has resisted the emotions underlying their physical discomfort. It offers strength to face emotional wounds, allowing them to surface for transformation and healing. Deep Blue leads us to observe our painful experiences rather than over-identify with them. And by that, I'm meaning it's easy for us to fixate on being hurt or feeling hurt or achiness. And rather than just fixating on that, we need to wonder what is leading us to this discomfort. When we have intense emotional or physical pain, it is common to act irrationally or lose our head. Deep Blue helps us to stay cool and collected in order to maintain mental clarity in the face of danger or discomfort. Deep Blue teaches us to accept and tolerate discomfort, showing us that pain is not cruel or bad, but simply a teacher. Remember, the body keeps the score. So what we don't process emotionally and mentally will become part of our physical discomforts. This lesson allows us to embrace all the lessons that it can offer us. As we resist less, the discomfort improves and even goes away altogether. By understanding the nature of discomfort, Deep Blue encourages us to assimilate all of life's experiences by smelling it from cupped hands, a diffuser, or the bottle directly. And I do love the smell of this. Um, and it does have a child-safe cap on it, so some people may have trouble opening it. And it is so soothing. That's the only word I can really think of that best describes it. We can also inhale the stick directly. Well, got to take off the cap. There is a little protective cap here that I just use the bigger top to pry it off. And then, as I was telling somebody yesterday, you roll it up. You can smell it. Oh my gosh, I just love that smell. And then you can roll it back down to protect the actual oil that's in there, which has it's in a carrier. It's a solid carrier. So when we can surrender to the discomfort, we will avoid panic, fear, and feeling wounded or unhealed. We can feel strengthened, accepting, reassured, and serene in the face of the discomfort. Emotionally, Copaiba is a great tool to connect with our past. It offers a deep energy to unveil the deeper messages showing up for us. It really helps us become thoughtfully aware of the shadow aspects of ourselves and discover who we really are. Often there is guilt, shame, inadequacy, or unworthiness that have been absorbed from our early environment. Think back to your early environment and see if those feelings were part of your growing up. These feelings distort every interaction we have with life. It can make us feel defeated and in extreme emotional discomfort. Copaiba can help us to begin unraveling and restoring ourselves for lasting wellness and insight. Copaiba invites us to express remorse for guilt and shame in order to move on. Forgiveness of self is important to lift our vibrations out of the lowest levels to embrace our truth. Copaiba also invites us to seek the divine to get clarity and a better definition of self. Copaiba reassures us that our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual limitations are only temporary. By unveiling to us what needs to happen in order to feel treasured, accepted, valued, worthy of love, and much more, the divine reveals to us the magnificence of what we really are and make peace with our past. How do we use Copaiba? Well, we can use it in that stick or in a roller. And I'm going to describe how you're going to make some rollers here in a bit, but an empty roller bottle like this is a 10 milliliter roller. You can use it, again, smelling through your diffuser, cupped hands that you've rubbed it in, smelling like that. I usually take 4 to 5 deep breaths when I'm cupping my hands over my nose and mouth. You can also you can also just smell it right directly from the bottle, which is very easy to do. Or you can take 1 to 2 drops under your tongue in water or in the Copaiba soft gel that doTERRA has. We can put aside, by doing those things, we can put aside self-loathing, self-criticism, guilt, regret, and shame to feel worthy, self-aware, clear, forgiven, and embrace a purposeful existence. Today I have a bunch of DIYs, and so if you want the recipes, and they're very simple recipes, but I have a PDF, you can ask for it, and I will send it to you via email. So my first one is a DIY tub soak. And of course, I mentioned before that I always feel better after a good tub soak with Deep Blue and with Aroma Touch. That's my go-to for my tub soak right now. And I'm telling you, if I get into the tub aching or really tired, I come out of the tub feeling refreshed and the aching is gone. So what can I say? It works, right? So how you're going to make it is take 3 drops each of deep blue oil and aroma touch oil, 1 tablespoon of a carrier, and I like doTERRA's fractionated coconut oil. It's a perfect combination for our essential oils. Half a cup of Epsom salts. Mix that all together. I usually just take a little mason jar and pour it in. Shake it up really well. Pour it into the tub as you're filling it up, into a warm tub. Or if you don't do a tub and you have a foot basin, you can put your warm water in there and mix in about a third of that into your foot basin, and you will get the same results. You will feel less achy. You will feel refreshed after you have soaked in it. I would say soak between, I would say give yourself 15 to 20 minutes minimum. When I get in my tub, I generally go for a half an hour, and I love it. So that's my DIY tub soak. Now, my DIY head and neck tension tamer. So if you're feeling tight up here, tight here, kind of sore and achy, you can take 3 drops of deep blue, combine that with your 2 drops of adaptive, so deep blue and adaptive, okay? And you will take a teaspoon of carrier oil, just so a smaller amount, or you take an empty roller bottle that you've either saved from one you've purchased from doTERRA and cleaned it out well, or you've purchased a 6-pack of empty roller bottles, and they look like this. So they'll come to you, not put together, but there is a roller top here, and you can either jimmy it off with the cap, or if you have an oil key, which I don't happen to have one right here, but an oil key is something some people win from me on Facebook's Roxanne's doTERRA Family private team page. And I do 3 giveaways a month. So that's a way you could get an oil key, or you can order it from Amazon. But you're going to take your roller bottle and, well, I told you 3 drops of deep blue, 2 drops of adaptive, and your teaspoon of your oil, you carrier oil. And you would mix that right in your hand, basically, and then rub it on your neck, on your shoulders, massage it into your scalp, and you will definitely feel better, I would say within 20 minutes. Or into your labeled 10 milliliter roller, put 15 drops of deep blue, 10 drops of adaptive, and top it off to the shoulder of the roller bottle. And I call the shoulder of the roller bottle right here where it kind of indents to the screw top part. Okay, so this is the shoulder. It's where it kind of goes in a little bit. And so right there, you would top it off to that point, no more, because you may spill some of your precious oil out over the top when you push your roller top onto the bottle. And you're going to roll it again onto the neck, the back of the shoulders, or the temples too. The temples are a great place, especially if you're feeling a little achy on your head. Um, And I told you already, the empty roller bottles are very easy to add to your next doTERRA order. And um, if you are using rewards, you can actually put in an extra order at any time from your monthly order and get rewards for that too by using instant rewards on your shopping bag site. So instant rewards will not get saved in your next shopping bag, whereas your monthly rewards order does depend on you changing it each month to get exactly what you want. So the instant rewards is a perk of being in the rewards program to collect your rewards points based on how long you've been doing the rewards program. It starts out at 10% and it maxes out to 30% by the end of your first year. And so then whenever I put in like 100 PV order, I literally get back 30 reward points, which is equal to $30 that I can then put towards future products. So rewards are very important. I wouldn't be on there without rewards. And so you can, if you place an order for those, the empty roller bottles, they are 6 in a pack and it costs $5.50. Now, my next DIY is called my typing tension blend. And so I know a few years ago, I was doing a lot of keyboarding with for different reasons. And I was starting to get very, very sore in here, starting to get prickly, very uncomfortable hands. And so I reached out to my massage therapist who suggested using the deep blue on my hands before and after I am doing my keyboarding. And you know what? It's gotten better, totally better. I do it now proactively because I do a lot with my hands. And so that is going to be something I highly recommend for you. It's much easier than surgery for that issue down here. So what's in that blend? 3 drops of deep blue, 1 drop of Copaiba, and a teaspoon of your carrier that you would just rub right in. Or to me, the roller is so much easier. So once you've made a roller or two, it will be your friend too. Or into your roller, you're going to put 15 drops of deep blue with 10 drops of Copaiba, top it off with your carrier oil. And by the way, this bottle is almost 4 ounces and it is available on our webpage for $13.50. This pump top, however, is $2.50. I highly recommend that because it's so much easier to fill your empty roller bottles with you're just going to stick it right into the bottle itself and pump, 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 and you can watch how it's rising in the bottle, and then you're not going to overflow things. It's the doTERRA fractionated coconut oil is feather light. It's an emollient, and so it gives a soothing barrier without clogging your body's pores, and it makes it an excellent moisturizer for dry or troubled skin. It leaves the skin feeling silky smooth and non-greasy, unlike other vegetable carrier oil. Now, fractionated coconut oil is completely soluble with all of our essential oils, and it is colorless, odorless, and stain-free. I also suggest getting the pump top because it's so much easier for filling your roller bottles. My next DIY is the DIY back rub oil for yard work, etc. So whether you're doing yard work, housework, you're at a job, wherever you are, and it bothers your back, you're going to take 6 drops of deep blue oil and 3 drops of marjoram oil. And that's not a common oil for many of us. However, it is part of anything I'm creating for people that has to do with soothing and discomfort. So marjoram oil is that's going to be 3 drops with a tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil. And that you're going to rub all over your back, as far as you can reach, up and down your spine, so forth. Or if you're making a roller, you can use 20 drops of deep blue and 10 drops of marjoram in your labeled roller bottle, topped off with fractionated coconut oil. Now I'm mentioning labeling your roller bottles because I'm telling you, if you don't do that, I guarantee you will never know what was in that bottle. Nobody's knows, no one's nose is that marvelous at identifying the essential oils. We don't have that skill, I don't think. If you had that skill, I think you'd be a high-paid employee of doTERRA oils. Um, so label your bottle, and I suggest labeling it before you put anything in it because if you're spilling oil or fractionated coconut oil and it gets down the side of your bottle, it's going to make it harder for the label to stick. So I strongly, strongly suggest that. Now, by the way, when we use our oils plain or neat, in other words, directly out of the bottle, we get about 4% from them because they are so volatile and so much flashes off before it's absorbed into our deeper tissues. When we dilute with our carrier oil, we get 10% because the fractionated coconut oil is heavier, yet absorbs perfectly into our skin layers and it weighs more to hold it in longer. Now, when we dilute and cover that area with clothing, linens, or a bandage, we get 75% of it. To me, it's a no-brainer to dilute and cover whenever possible. I personally love getting the best bang for my doTERRA buck. My next DIY is a sleep foot rub. Add 3 drops of deep blue, 2 drops of lavender with a tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil, or in your labeled roller bottle, 20 drops of deep blue, 15 drops of lavender, topped with fractionated coconut oil. Rub onto your feet and massage in well. Put on your socks and get your feet under the covers immediately. You will sleep well. Next DIY is a pre-workout rub before any physical activity that may cause fatigue or aches. You're going to apply 3 drops deep blue and 2 drops lemongrass with a tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil into major muscle groups and rub well. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but in the DIYs that use a tablespoon of carrier versus a teaspoon, it's because you're rubbing a larger area, okay? Or in your labeled roller, combine 20 drops deep blue and 15 drops lemongrass. And that's another one that most people are probably not familiar with, but lemongrass is also very, very, very supportive of our muscles. And so then you're going to top it off with fractionated coconut oil. So that's before you're working out. That will help minimize the lactic acid that remains in your tissues. And then there's a DIY post-workout rub after any activity causing fatigue or muscle aches. And into your 10 milliliter labeled roller, you're going to add 15 drops of deep blue and 10 drops of frankincense, topped with fractionated coconut oil, or use your deep blue stick. And you can even put a drop of frankincense on the stick and rub it in, or you can put a drop of deep blue on your frankincense stick and rub it in. So you've got all kinds of options here. My last DIY is a travel size roller for relief of travel issues. Usually that means sitting in a plane, a train, a bus for a long time. Maybe even the head tension that comes along with that whenever we're traveling. There's nothing easy or quick about traveling, right? You're going to put 8 drops of deep blue, 2 drops of past tense. And again, that's not a common oil either for most people, but past tense is super duper for any head or neck tension. And it also has the child safe cap because of the wintergreen that's in that oil blend. And you're going to put those into a labeled 5 milliliter roller bottle. So that would be this size compared to this size. Okay. And people who come to my houses and we do make and takes will often get that 5 milliliter roller size. So is this the time to add the deep blue stick to your order? It's 10% off this month. Or maybe some Copaiba oil or frankincense to get your own needs met. Is this the time to finally use the monthly rewards orders to stretch your money, get free products, and get advance notice for limited time offers? And this month, remember, you can get this $38 bottle of oil, Deep Blue, free with a rewards order of 125 PV before the 15th of the month. Or if you're getting the foundational wellness bundle, either the um, VMG Plus with the Omega Plus, that's one bundle, or you might get it with the Restore Probiotics, that's another bundle. If you're doing it with those particular bundles, you can get your free product of the month any day of the month. Okay? So that's pretty cool too. And everyone who starts a rewards order, starts it off for the first time, will get a welcome to rewards pack of samples when you put in your initial rewards order. So that's another plus. You're getting some free stuff that way. Remember to share what works for you from doTERRA to your friends, relatives, and coworkers, because think about how how you would feel, excuse me, how you would feel if no one had shared with you. I know how much better I feel physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, and spiritually since I was introduced to doTERRA. I thank Ellie Van Sandbergen every day for getting me started by sharing the Deep Blue Rub. I've been able to find effective, natural, no-risk solutions for so much since then. But I think the best thing I found was the vitamin pack, and that totally turned my life around. And now to think I can use the VMG to help me get my micronutrients so much easier with a powerful drink is beyond what I could have imagined back when I got started 11 years ago. My now non-reactive way of living with the adaptive capsules has made life so much easier. Need any details on those? Please reply to this replay um, email that if you did not get onto our actual Zoom. What will you do to take you towards reaching your own goals? What would life be for you if you took action today or tomorrow to move forward? Imagine the way life could be. Would it be worth trying? Our next Lunch and Learn will be August 5th at noontime, Eastern Time. I hope you too will be getting your free Deep Blue oil this month with your 125 PV rewards order before the 15th. See, there's still time to get that. Or getting it with your order of a VMG bundle anyway this month. The Deep Blue, remember, is worth $38. And it's a great oil to have in your bathroom cabinet for those times you need muscle or joint relief and soothing. And to get the Deep Blue stick at 10% off, which is now $25.65. That's that. If you get commissions from doTERRA, please be sure to check your PV before purchasing so a sale item does not keep you from your 100 PV order minimum to get your commission. Not really a bad overhead for a business, right? I can send you today's DIYs in a PDF if you want to request that. So I want you to stay well and be sure to reach out with any product or business questions you may have anytime at all. And if you want to get on our fun Zoom this Saturday, just let me know that and I can add you to that list too. So thank you so much and stay well from your proactive lady, Roxanne Wheeler.